Hi everybody. So I got good feedback about the first video I did, so I'm kind of mustering up some courage to send another one. And so this video I want to talk about anger, the emotion of anger. So the first video we talked about fear, and we're going to move into anger. So now before I really dive into anger a bit, I just want to say there's four main primal emotions that we as human beings, and maybe even all other animals, like feel. And those four primal emotions are fear, anger, sadness, joy. Fear, anger, sadness, joy. So at any given point in time, we are always in a state of fear, anger, sadness, joy, or a combination thereof. Even if we don't feel it, those are the feelings that are like in our compass navigating us. And you know, there's two states that we can really be in: a state of safety, and it's not so black and white, but you know, just bear with me because it'll really help kind of identify places where we are, where we can land. So we can be in a place of safety, where all of our needs are met, where we feel our needs are being met and we're safe. And in this place, you know, we're acting from like the front of our brain, the frontal cortex. We can communicate, we can bring in all of our resources that we have as human beings, as spiritual animals. You know, we can act from a place of empathy, from a place of reason. It's like safety is like a good thing, you know. It feels abundant. It feels like we can truly express ourselves and be who we are, and it's safe to do so. The other paradigm is fear. It's a place of not feeling safe. And when we're not feeling safe, we're in a place of fear. And from this place of fear, we can no longer access these parts of us which are like rational and wise and compassionate and empathetic and, you know, spiritual. We're in a place of fear, and we're in this part of our brain which is fight, flight, or freeze. And that's when we're not feeling safe. And so from this place of not safety, from this place of fear, we can move into a place of anger. And anger, I feel like there's, my observation is sometimes that there's you know, many subtle ways where people can approach anger, but really we can either suppress our anger and like bury it deep down inside, or lash out externally. So we're either suppressing it and feel like, oh, I'm not, you know, spiritual bypass. Spiritual bypass is like a really good way of not feeling anger. It's like, I'm so spiritual and I'm so serene, and I, you know, hashtags gratitude and love, and we don't feel this anger. Or we can be feeling the anger and we don't know how to contain it. It's overflowing, we're flooded, and we just lash out, and it's like, you, off with your heads, you know, so angry. And both of these places are strategic places of control. They're both control patterns. One is, I am not going to feel this, and I am going to be this mask of serenity, and I'm not going to deal with anger, and you will never see me angry, ever. And it's a way to control the external environment as well. And you know, the other way of lashing out and being kind of reactive and being flooded with anger is also an attempt to control the environment by trying to get everything outside to change so that we can feel better about ourselves. But really neither of these strategies is, or anything in between, you know, these are kind of polarities. None of these is really like owning the anger and allowing to take responsibility for it and feel it. And so when, you know, when we come into this place where you can just say, I'm angry, you know, I am angry, and just move that energy, it's a place of like, of empowerment. Because you don't have to hide the anger, and you don't have to get anybody to change. You can just be goddamn angry. I don't know if I'm allowed to like swear on these videos, if they'll get like muted. But you can just be like effing angry, you know? And nothing has to change on the outside. And you don't have to pretend. You can just be what you're feeling. And this is like a place of power, you know? we're taking ownership and responsibility for it, and it doesn't have to do with anything about changing the external world, and you don't have to pretend or hide. So like one way of tapping into this anger is like moving it, as physically moving and charging it, because our emotions and our physical body and our mental body and our spiritual body, they're all integrated. We have energy running in currents through all of this stuff, and our emotions, we feel them in our body. We don't feel them really here. When your heart aches, your heart aches. When you're sad, your heart aches. Your head doesn't ache, kind of a thing. Although maybe repressed emotions do have an effect on your head, and you may get headaches for sure. But it's a somatic experience. Our emotions are a somatic experience. So I'm just going to show you really quickly about how to charge your anger and how to feel ownership of your anger. One second, let me move this thing. They're always tricky. So I just take a couple of pillows, maybe 3 over here, colorful pillows. I just whack the shit out of them. And you can keep going and going, and I do these monthly kind of emotional release workshops where we work on these wounds and charging some of these places in a kind of a therapeutic context. But you can really go at your pillows and take and feel that anger inside of you. And when you feel it, the container will expand. There will be a consciousness around it that you no longer have to hide or blame the external environment. And that way it can move. Once our emotions, we charge them, we become conscious of them, we can make decisions around them, they move, they pass. And it's not that we want them to pass, but yeah, give it a try, see how it feels to move some anger, and yeah, just whack some pillows. It's a hard year. There's a lot to be angry about. We all have our stories, our stuff. And yeah, take ownership of your anger and see how it really feels, and let me know what you come up with.